it out, man. This Alchemist. It's the God right here.
Don't pee right here, you know what I'm saying? And don't be scared to get shitty, man. You know what I'm saying? UGTV is going down.
What's good, y'all? This is Music Soul Channel right now. You are checking out Urban Grind TV.
What up, man? This is Ludacris, and right now you are watching UGTV.
What's happening? It's the Teflon Don Ricky Rouse. And right now you rocking with Urban Grind TV. It's going down. Flock Bell install 10 5 10 minutes UGTV. Don't go nowhere.
Yo, what's up? It's Eric Sermon, the Green Light Bandit in Chi-Town. UGTV, you know how I do all day. Represent that. You know what time it is.
Joel Santana, and right now you checking out Urban Grind TV. Dipset for life, Skull Gang forever, Slow Bugs, keep up. Ooh.
What's up, it's the Patty Cake Man, and you are watching UGTV right here.
It's Big Snoop Dogg, Urban Grind TV, you understand me?
Urban Grind TV, Face Mob in the building. I'll let your motherfucking boy.
Killer Cam, King Joffrey, Joe, Spacey Sparkers, and right now you watching Urban Grind TV. You know what it is. Good set, you win.
Yo, check it out, y'all. It's the dead. It's Raekwon the Chef, and you doing it big right now on Urban Grind TV.
What's good, man? It's the God. You know what it is. You're watching UGTV.
Yo, what's up? It's DA to the Z, Urban Grind. You know what I mean? Television, keeping y'all updated. Get on the log in, email us, holler back. It's DA to the Z right here, Chicago, baby.
What's going on? It's your boy Wally, aka Mr. Music Is My Business, and we are live from Smoky Studio, the Windy City. We're back for another episode of Behind the Grind on Urban Grind Radio.
You already know what it is. It's one of your co-hosts, MUA.PR.creative. For all your makeup needs, you create, I design with Puerto Rican.creative.
And complaint department.
No, man. No. I am not the person to direct your complaints to. I promise you. They will go unheard.
If something offends you in today's
they will go
episode,
unheard. Direct them to Urban Grind TV and Radio. I am not responsible. I will say this on air. I am not responsible for any of his questions that I must.
Every 10 complaints, she gives out a
for.
free interview. So if there's at least 10, there's a free interview. It's like a raffle. You'll get it.
You know what? At this point, anybody can be offended by you just saying a word.
Yeah,
or
stay
color.
out, right?
Yeah.
So who else we got in the building? Man?
Shout out the crew, man. But y'all already know what it is. Top Boy Zello, aka SMG Zello, the Talk A Loud artist, man.
That's right.
We back.
The iTunes chart.
Number 30.
Number 30.
Okay. And progressing. Don't even forget about that.
Shout out to DJ Rock. We get him heard. Urban Grind TV. We just had the pleasure to rock with him, and we charted top 10, number 10 on the Billboard, the iTunes Top 100 hip hop songs. So
that's nice.
They got a plaque coming.
Beautiful.
We're gonna definitely have
shout
them.
out the team, man.
Yes, DJ Slam Rock, the 219. We're gonna have them in the building in a couple of weeks. So it was nice to be back, man. It was like a little break.
It was a 2-week break. I swear everybody probably thought if I wasn't posting on my story, they probably would have thought my account was deactivated. You know?
You know what? I definitely miss being in the building. It was a nice break. Got some stuff done. Shout out to Wally the Fourth. Had to celebrate his birthday. Shout out to Sinister Music Group.
Okay.
His birthday was yesterday.
Shout out
Happy belated.
Happy
Gemini season. My grandma's was the 26th. Her birthday was over the weekend. So it was a big weekend, man. So what we do here at Urban Grind Radio is we delve into the nitty gritty of the music industry, and we give independent artists and label owners, we give them like tools, and we give them feeling. I think the most important thing we give them is experience. Firsthand, we're not saying, hey, if you got a $10 million budget, this is how you're gonna run a label. Sometimes you're gonna have no budget, you're gonna have limited budget, and sometimes people are gonna be like, what's a budget? And that's okay, because that's how you create the discussion. And what we wanted to create today was the record label checklist. So you have a lot of people that say, hey, I have my own label. I created a label, maybe a group of people, friends, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna launch a label. That's great. And more than in theory and just saying, hey, a name, like I have a label, we wanna go over a checklist of stuff that actually will help you be an actual label and a successful label in getting things done. It's a really beautiful thing. And I'm just happy to be able to share this with you guys. And it's a really good tip, so.
Most definitely.
You know, and I feel like with like a lot of the stuff that we're gonna be talking about, because like I even don't know how or what goes into a record label, a label in general, we're gonna be able to go through a lot of the foundations, a lot of maybe like even the questions about logistics or legalities, you know, or even how to go from like picking a model. I feel like that's like a lot of labels questions. How do you know you find the right model? How many models do you know that you can go ahead and cover, or artists or whatever it may be? So I feel like this is going to be a real helpful tool. I think a lot of people are going to get out of this.
Well, definitely, because it's community, right? It's about teamwork. Why is a record label checklist important, Zolo? What do you think?
Mainly, I really see the involvement of the music. So the checklist is important because stuff changes a lot. So it's like if certain things change, you'll be able to make those fast adjustments in that little bit of time that you have. And then it just makes it easier to stay on track.
I mean, you're with a label. Shout out SMG, right?
Shout out SMG.
Sinister Music Group. So where do you think, how do you think you could benefit from like looking at this and saying, because you might be able to pick up more areas. It's hard to run a label. You're wearing multiple hats, right? Just like you're in a makeup company, or any kind of business, you're gonna wear multiple hats. How do you think you could benefit from this?
Oh yeah, you mainly benefit from your time. It's less time wasted because you're able to have a set point for everything. That's where the checklist come in at, and you don't lose things. I'm the type of person that lose a lot of things, and
what do you
they're
mean
very
lose?
Important things.
Like what?
Like
your wallet,
just little
your phone?
small things that you might not think you need
I would lose
that
my
you
head
really
if it was not
need.
checked.
You see what I'm saying? So just a checklist to keep you on point of everything, small things like your wallet, your keys. You see what I'm saying? Because when you traveling and you going to these different places, other people don't care about your well-being as much as you will care about your own well-being. So you need to have these things in place so that way you can make it back home to your family and be safe on the road while you doing these certain things. You see
Think
what I'm
about
saying?
that. That's just on a micro level, right?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
one
that's just
person.
a
So
small-
now you're talking about an independent record label or maybe a medium-sized record label. So now we're talking
Dozens.
scaling that up and having
Yeah.
multiple departments and people
30 times
in
as
it.
much importance.
And if you don't even know about it, how do you know you're missing anything? I think
Right.
that was my biggest thing. Was like, I launched my first record label in 2003 or 2004. I had started my recording studio first.
That was 2.
Right. So I was, and I launched first reggaeton, hip hop, Latin rock. We had R&B. We had a mixture of male, female artists. I had dancers. We had, like video.
So you were
crew,
just a label in general.
graphic designer. Yeah, marketing and promotions department. So we were a label. We were indie, but it still took like a 5 to 8 man team. And you're gonna have different people at all levels. You're gonna have like beginners, experience. You're gonna have novice. You're gonna have people say, you know what, I'm an expert, but maybe their time is not, they're not available all the time. You might have people say like, I just want to learn, and they'll get in, and depending on their commitment, that's how successful they're gonna be.
Right.
Because you can read whatever in any book, I can give you anything, but it's all about application, how you apply it, how you learn to apply it, right? Just like makeup. You give me makeup, I can't do nothing with the stuff, and you can't just say it's in the makeup. So it's all about the application, just like if you're a cook or a chef. It's how you mix the ingredients and how you heat the temperature and the process that you do it in, right? So it's the same thing. And when this is your career and this is your dream, it's really hard because I didn't know where to go to. There was like not social media like there is now, and like how-tos and books and stuff like that. There were very few, and I read them, the ones that were available. So like, how do I even know if I'm doing anything right? How do I know if I'm doing anything wrong? How am I tracking my progress? It was 1913 Records. So Blanca Maria, Ruchi Miles, the Drama Crew, Bobby De Niro, Big X. We had Alejandro Medina. We had a nice label, the Next Stream Dancers, of artists and different people. And for me to say, hey, I'm a label owner, that does mean more beyond my financial investment, because that's what most people will go and say, hey, I want you to invest money in this, put money behind it, because that's what a record deal is essentially. Somebody's gonna put the financial means and the other aspects of it to help take a gamble on you being successful. So in order for me to say, hey, I want to do you right, like, if your mentors don't have mentors, you're in the wrong business. So I always had mentors, and I always went and searched information, and I read, and I grew up doing this stuff. I grew up, doing roadie stuff and like following bands, and I'd load the equipment in, load the equipment out. My son's mom's an artist. She's an entertainer. She's a singer. So being a lead singer, she's there first. She's probably the last one to leave. And I did that for, probably over 17, 18 years, carrying equipment, setting up bands, looking how live performances go, English, Spanish, everything across the board. So it gave me like a good insight on the live aspect, where some people are like, hey, I'm a good producer. I can produce. I'm in studio. That's great. But that's the first step. Now we got to look at who does the music essentially go to? Who's our audience? So that's what we talk about, defining your vision and your goals.
Most definitely. I feel like it's a lot to deal with balancing quantity and quality at the same time, because if you got too much of one, the other one gonna overthrow it, and it ain't gonna make you no money back. So it's most definitely about putting your right foot forward and just stepping in there and diving in and trying to do something, because you can have a million different people tell you different ways to do a lot of things, but that just worked for them. They ain't gonna work for everybody else. So just get your feet wet and learn from the mistakes and learn what's best for you to be able to do and work something out. Mm-hmm. That's the best thing that the checklist will help you do too. That helps you understand your goals and what you're trying to do, and then make sure you stand on that, you step on that, because now you got to check that off. Now that's something that you have to do. So.
But when you make a checklist, right? You said something about how much money goes into it. You have to go ahead and put that on your checklist too. That's all financial planning and budgeting, and you have to see these are my plans, but how much is it going to be to fund my plans? How much is it going to be to make this go from on paper or in thought to on paper to reality? The process that goes in with it. A lot of this in the entertainment industry costs a lot, and I don't think that many people understand that with financial planning and financial budgeting, it's not only what you're willing to invest in yourself, but it's also how much people are willing to invest in you too, and you have to take that into account.
I definitely, me as an artist from the beginning, when I first started making music, I definitely thought it was gonna be, I get somebody behind me, I get the big videos and get all the money and the girls on the first single and stuff like that. Ain't how stuff works these days. So you definitely got to make sure you're not wasting your time and putting your right foot forward to make sure that everything on that checklist is important, instead of just worrying about,
Let's say that happens. Let's say that you do one record, the record takes off, you're successful. Without having the foundation that we're talking about and the team behind you, you don't have a way to always manage the success. You don't have a way to monetize. That's why you'll see artists, they'll be big. Yo, what happened to them? Like, hey, that song was pretty big, and then they're gone. Yeah. Because by the time they took care of the business side and built the team, right, then they kind of missed the flash, like the wave. So it's, timing is everything. So I always like to be prepared. I'm a veteran, right? So I always think about hey, I gotta go from A to B, and what do I need? And I gotta have a zero fail mission, right? You have zero probability of failure. So what's the best way to go about this? So it's just about being over prepared. And I had the vision of the same thing, right? Of success.
That,
over prepared, right?
Yeah.
So, but I always thought the same thing, I want to sell 1 million records, and not many people, numbers wise, are gonna sell 1 million records. And I think when you have a goal sometimes so big, you got to have that. But it can be discouraging because maybe you're years into it and you're like, I haven't sold 1 million yet, right? But that's why short-term goals are important. Because if you have short-term goals and say, you know what, I want to perform in front of a big audience, 300 more. I want to perform out of town. I want to co-headline a show. So now you have short-term goals and great things that you can, be proud of and focus on. And this is building your story. This is kind of like who you are as part of your life. So money is kind of the conversation. Even Wendy Day, when we saw her a couple weeks ago, she said, I can't do it without money. You can't do it. It's undoable without money and resources. So no matter how much you like an artist, no matter how much you believe in it, people got to be realistic. You're starting a business. My dad's a mechanic. He can't just say, I want to be a mechanic. You need a shop, you need tools, you need training, you need education, right? So that's an investment. So why can't you think that, thank you, Dad, shout out Gator. Why do you think that you can just step into the industry with no investment or very little, or expect other people to invest in you. It's not going to happen, and that kind of rolls into our next point. The first one was defining our goals and visions. So we talked about our genre, short-term goals, long-term goals, right? How many artists can you handle? That's why we had artist labels, right? That we've seen them, that we consult, and I said, hey, you should be the goal. You're the guy that's really good. You're serious about it, and more importantly, you're the person investing all the money. Let's focus on you. Let's get you to pop first, and then we can bring other people on. Nope, they don't want to listen. They want to sign 3 or 4 artists. They want to spread out their resources, and then they don't have the ability to last because it costs a lot of money, because as your goals get bigger, then the budgets do, right? We were just talking about a music video, previous to this before we sat on set, and it's like, Sinister says, hey, we got to get the numbers, because you're looking at budget, and the more creative you get with something, the more money it costs. So when you see these videos and they got explosions and cars, and special effects, makeup, they're hiring makeup artists like Athena. They're Athena, because you want that look.
Athena? I want to know who is Athena. Now you have to show me a picture of who you talking about. There's no way you just got me confused. There's no way you just got me confused.
So that's why you have to hire people that do, my bad, that do makeup artists. If you have a location, you got to rent the location, right? Yeah. If you have extras, you have to cast it. So that's what it takes full size. So the second part is the business plan. Most people don't understand the business plan part. So what do you...
Martin's International invites you to come with us and celebrate the biggest music night of honors for the 42nd Annual Chicago Music Awards, featuring artists in reggae, rap, Latin, blues, and more.
Combined with the 31st African Caribbean International Festival of Life, with food, art, and the best of the world's music and entertainers. Thursday, July 4th through the 7th in Washington Park, DuSable Museum.
And if you would like to become a sponsor, donor, or even a vendor, or if you would like the 50% promo tickets, visit the website below.
What about you? Know what about me? Been doing this since the age of 15. I've been on my own. Tell me what do I need? She make me cry. I'ma make you bleed. Cat killers on alert and they on their way back. Feel like I'm uncomfortable without my strap. Should've told me you run it behind my back. Should've told me you run the game, but now it's a rap. Let's get it. Hit from the back, so I know that she with it. I got a ball, can't get knocked on my pivot. Pushing these drugs, so you know I be dealing. She like when I touch it, she know I'ma kill it. Took out my enemies, know I'ma drill them. All in the mouth, she be sharing a dinner. All on the couch, switch the TV like Kindle. Fire out the block, spit the pole when I bend them. Block with the switch, see the light in my denim. If I gotta get them, then I gotta get them. Ain't missing no shots, so we watch what we send them. I'm popping a pill, now I feel like a million. Got it in my bag, so I might pop a perk. And if I...
Thanks for clicking on the link. My name is Wally Locker III. I'm the executive producer of Urban Grind Television and author of Music is My Business, a startup strategy guide to the music business. I've been in the industry for over 18 years, working with artists, entertainers, producers, record executives, and more. I put together a brand new strategy guide just for you on how to navigate the music business. I'm going to talk about your vision, about your commitments, about your dreams, building the supreme team, and more. Also, how to fund your business. So all you need to do is hit the link below, put in your email address. We're going to send you the newsletter. We're going to give you some free bonus content, and you also got an exclusive offer. It's all free. Just click on the link below, put in your email address, and get in tune. It's Urban Grind TV. Music is my business. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shotters, Roosevelt shotters, Chi-Town shotters, Southside shotters. Blue to 6K, I'm Gucci though. You ain't gotta wish me well, I ain't Lucci ho. Push big perk, get a Poochie oh. Top flow, eating bachi, yeah, sushi ho. So much fun like Thugger. Yeah, I was really out here with Bubba. Beer make me wish I wore rubber. I don't buy hopper, I'm not a clubber. Yeah, bet my son go to Lake Forest. Niggas gumps make him run like Forest.
counting up grants like Horace. New freak won't flowers, florist. Got shockwaves, man, you doing something right. Glock waving in the dark to the sunlight. I'm smart as hell, bet I go dumb right. Flow dope cause it's too young, right? Wolverine before I wore the clothing. No talking, nigga ask Nolan. Lil Wayne and Herb, I'm rolling. Where the chain go, shit, it got stolen. Did the PIs of a fat Joe. Skinny nigga pockets on fat hoe. You ain't never slime out saying slat though. Boost mobile, bitch, where you at, ho? On the back street, pop with them boys. No dyke, we'll bring out them toys. I got the sauce talking soy. Police want hands behind back, I ain't Roy. Shooting guard like Brandon Roy. Ball like that girl and that boy. Take the last shot and kill Roy. War ready, this not Troy. New PR, bitch, better marketing. You was quiet, now you talk Lloyd marketing. New show on the calendar, I'm marketing. Brand new V and I ain't parking it. I'm the one having a baby. You should've never FaceTime Mabry. Free crack, mashed potatoes, no gravy. Bitch, pot out weed, Tom Brady. 500 kill dinner with Jay-Z. Started from the bottom like Drake G. My homie said pass in my Navy. Gemini, but I'm too wavy. I was the one on Damon. Look, Gary just got out like Damon. Ice went back, no changing. My bro still likes play changing. Did Soho with roping them. Shout out them, but I never did coke with him. Duke knew that I could move the dope with him. Nigga, we is real homies coming over trim. Sat in the back at the funeral. I ain't even speak cause I'm a general. Little brother, big brother, both criminals. Cuz pop pills like minerals. Chelsea should've been up on Michigan. You was rich, so cares get rich again. DT fucking on your bitch again. OT splitting up the damn dividends. Stick it to the script, nigga, stick it in. Now I worry about you cause you fit it in. Bitch, I blow the bag, not budget in. Outcast tryna let my cousin in. He bought like a shot for the buzzer in. On Saeed grave, I'm proud of him. Feel like Weezy, out of here. Protect my peace like not of here. It's cracking, all we need is a pot of here. Oh, bro. It's cracking, all we need is a pot of here.
Yo, what's the word? It's SMG Zello, aka Thought Boy Zello, the Talk a Lot artist, man. In the beginning, it was hard for me to get exclusives and to get promo for my music. But guess what? UGTV has that, man. Call the number below and they will help you out, man. It was the best thing I did for myself.
Are you an artist, model, or entertainer? Do you need help with bookings, castings, or even engagement on your platforms? Hit up UrbanGrindTV today and let them get you right.
Tell me about a business plan.
Well, mainly what I'm looking at is outline your business model and revenue streams, streaming merchandise, live events, budgeting, and financial planning. So mainly, yeah, it's just basically putting the goals into making money. So,
where you make money, right?
Yeah.
What avenues can you make money, right? In whatever business you're in. This one, in the music business. So as a record label's got to look at music sales, streaming, merchandise, and live events are ways that we've got to be included in your business plan for generating capital. And financial planning is just that, right? You want a studio, you want to rent an office, it's going to be X amount every month. And X amount to put it down to book it, right? Mm-hmm. And then X amount to build out the walls and the booth the way you want it, and an X amount for the equipment that goes into it, and for the lighting, and then for the monthly thing. So that's why financial planning is important. And you get the money, you got to think about, like, hey, do I really want this responsibility of it? Do I really want to have it? Because this is going to be an overhead. And then if you own it, something breaks, and if it's old, it's going to cost money. You know what I mean? My dad was fixing the sink right now, like 10 minutes ago, because building's 100-something years old. That's what it is. So budgeting and financing is realistic, and you can't always count on, like, I know when I ran my record label, you know, I was working a day job. So I was working a day job, I was going to college at night, and then I was running the business, like building this myself. And I did that all the way 8 years through law school. So like, it's a big commitment. You gotta get money. So I remember getting my check and I was like, oh man, like 300's going towards the video payment, or I need, these guys need t-shirts. That's another $150 because I need shirts for them to perform in that they're gonna cut up and wear one time. And I don't even think I'd buy me a shirt. So like, these are the decisions that you're making. And I remember like, we had a big booking, like at a big festival for like a few thousand people. So now I was like, well, gotta get shoes. So now it's 4 pairs of shoes because I had the lead and then the backup dancers or whatever it was. So that's where budgeting and financing comes in, and having a plan, because I didn't really do that. I was just like, oh, it cost this much, let me pay it out. Oh, it cost this much, and pay it out. Where now, as I look back, I'm gonna say, okay, this is what I generate roughly a month. This is what I can afford to play with. And now I gotta have a list, and believe me, it would have saved me so much trouble and stress, because I would have had a budget and I say, you know what, this is what I can do every month, and this is the importance, right? This is my priority, and let me invest in this right now. And you only get that through experience, or unless somebody shows you. But even if they tell you, you ain't gonna listen. You're an entrepreneur, you're a creator, you're an artist. I ain't trying to listen to nobody. I don't want to hear that. No, well, you have to learn on your own.
From somebody.
You gotta, learn from other people's mistakes. But that's like if somebody tell you, like, you know, how hard modeling is or makeup. I got this. So it's our confidence and our thing that pushes us through it anyways. So, but I mean, I don't remember learning that in school, you know, like budgeting and financial planning. It's not something I went to Catholic school. Like, I had a pretty good education. Like,
I went to a charter school.
I didn't learn it. Did you learn financial planning and budgeting?
I learned AP government.
See, I learned like
and health class.
The recorder. Like, I could have took some financial planning. I had French.
We didn't even have language classes besides Spanish, and we did not have no music.
Je m'appelle Monsieur Wallet. That's all I remember. See, all that money.
Oh,
my name is
what
Wallet.
did he just say to me right now?
I was wondering what he was talking about.
I was introducing myself. I didn't know how to ask for the library.
He just totally switched up.
But I'm saying, like, these are classes that were cool, but like, it would have helped to have budgeting and financial planning, like on a personal level. Now you got to budget and do planning for a business, which is a whole nother monster. It's a whole other thing. So that kind of rolls us into legal structure.
Yeah, and I think that we were just discussing legality today too.
Yeah.
Before the
we're
show.
Looking at some contracts and stuff.
And discussing legality comes with a lot of things. Like, a lot of people don't like to read terms and contracts. A lot of people don't like to go ahead and even take a minute to look before they sign. You need to look before you sign, because you need to understand what it is, how long you have to be in it, what are the specifics and stuff like that, and what you're even signing. Like, a lot of that contract stuff can really mess you up. I found myself in a lot of sticky places if I would have been signing some contracts already.
And people think like you got to be making money to like create a company. No, you might be losing money. In the beginning, you're not going to make money. It's going to be a startup. It's more about protecting yourself, because if you do own something and something happens, God forbid, and you get makeup in somebody's eye or glitter or something crazy, I don't know, and people want to sue you and come after you, you want to be able to have, be able to protect yourself. So how you structure your business is definitely important. You know, if you got to get licenses, like for certain businesses, make sure you have it. LLC. Yeah, your names. If you have a logo, right, or a trademark, that the domains. I cannot stress how important it is when you come up with something. If you're gonna pursue it, I had something that I was working on yesterday, but like 3 a.m, I had the domains locked in and all set up and like triple lock. We're good. We're gonna own it, because before you roll out something and display it, you should always make sure it's secured and do a search. Make sure somebody doesn't own it, and that you don't build something
and now you got something
you can't
based
even
on
use
somebody
it.
else's.
That happened to me. So my first label was Life or Death. We used to do like Life or Death records, and then I looked. It was like somebody had the trademark, and it was multiples, and I was like, all right. So that's where we came with 1913 Records, because somebody had it. It was cool. Those people had tattoos, everything, but it was like, hey, So a little bit of research and understanding that I should check on this is very important. And then you were talking about what? Contracts, right?
Yeah, I mean, contracts. As an artist, are contracts different? I would assume contracts are very, very different from modeling contracts. Like,
They shouldn't be too much different though.
No, it's
they
just
shouldn't
about
be that much
like
different.
terms,
Well,
duties,
it's
stuff
got
like
two.
that.
Well, it's two parties, right? Generally, it's a performance or a service for a set amount. Right. Generally at a set location or somewhere or something to that effect, right? The service is going to be different. Right. But like we were looking at one that she had, those are like, it's really big on the NDAs and intellectual property rights, protecting yourself, right? So like nobody can use your hookup, can cut you out, third parties, things of that nature, right? So that's what's important is that, you know, like if you're doing business with people and you got to keep it into a confidential nature, then you want to have some kind of agreement. And more importantly, what the contracts are good for, just an understanding. I might have thought you said that you were going to be on set for 5 hours. We were hanging out, we had a good time. You were like, no, 5, man, I got you, 1 to 6. But and the contract says that you're going to be there for 8 hours or you're going to be there for 4. So when you have to sign a contract and you have to look at something, then you get a realistic say, oh man, you know what? I am responsible. This is really what you want me to do. Like I gotta wear this. So what it does, it sets expectations up front, right? And it tells you up front, hey, this is what I want, and this is what I'll do in exchange for it. So like, it's overwhelming. A record contract, right? Producer contract. I did some booking agreements this weekend, and as times have changed, and the guy called me and he talked to me about problems that he had with bookings previously. So I want to make sure that we had stuff in there to address his concerns. It didn't even matter if he was getting paid a lot of money. He just wanted to have certain provisions in there so he was able to maintain his professional image and his integrity and feel good about what he was doing. You know, and so like always, if you have questions, you know, get somebody that knows it and understand what you're doing. But in the contracts for a record label, you're gonna have artist contracts. You're gonna have producer agreements. Like you can't just go on YouTube and take somebody's beat and be like, I'm gonna put it, upload it, and make a song like that. Somebody owns that. They already own it, and that you might run into something that's gonna be an issue. Yeah, feature agreements. What if, hey, my favorite artist gave me a song. He liked my music. He gave me the song. Well, guess what? Unless your favorite artist is independent, he may not have the ability to let you release that song. He could do it with you, but his label may not clear that. Even worse yet, if you have a distributor, you might need like a side artist agreement or something else from the distribution company he's with in order for them to release that. But believe me, if he's a known artist, if they're working and they're smart, they're gonna have stuff covered. So now you may have to pay money to clear it, and they may not clear it. So that's why having paperwork, you know, I had a guy who was trying to get a feature. I was contacting the management. They didn't want to put that in writing. It was it was a lot of money. And the guy told me, he goes, that's not a lot of money to me. And I said, sir, it's not about that, but it's that, you know, it's a lot of money to my client. So like, what's wrong with documenting like what we're doing here? Right. So we have an understanding. You know, we don't want nobody to be confused. So, you know, feature contracts, booking agreements, licensing. So you're giving somebody, you know, the ability to utilize your music or you license it to them. And distribution agreements. I cannot stress again how people just go and sign up for one of these drive-through distributions, and they don't understand it and they don't know how to fully utilize it. So these are major things that they're big decisions, and that's why, because there's so many big decisions, you should have a plan and know when to ask for help.
Most definitely.
So what about branding and identity, Athena? What do you think about branding and identity? This is your lane.
It's not my lane because I'm learning it. Like that's why I said, because like I'm learning it. You're teaching me currently about branding and owning rights, and the fact that you don't even. I think I said this in a previous episode. You don't even own the right to your name. But yeah, so like it's very important to understand what it takes to go into branding. You can't just like I said, it's not just about creating a name or creating an idea and then, oh, I have money to throw around, so let's just do it. No, you have to like actually search, somebody else have it. Is this gonna be a legality issue? And then you have to develop like consistent content for your brand in order to reach people.
Yes.
I know I personally struggle with that. I apologize for the deepest levels of my heart for all my makeup lovers and my model lovers. I have been really struggling on like actually
But that's real though.
With content, and we
Because
all
you
are
got real life.
inconsistent
with
with content. But the way the algorithm goes is you have to. It doesn't even matter what your life is. You either.
But
be on
every
board with
day
it or
is not Instagrammable unless you're faking it.
Unless you're faking it, unless you actually
it's
put in.
hard to.
Or
Some
you're
days
booking.
are bad, and you're like, I don't feel like getting online. I don't want to do that.
I don't feel like putting on makeup today and
Right.
clogging up my pores.
Right. So exactly. Right.
But
so
even like
something
you
to
said,
that effect.
like with me, like I create snippets and stuff like that, but that still costs money because I still need to be able to go record the song. I still need to be able to, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's things that I still need to be able to do behind getting you all that, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Martin's International invites you to come with us and celebrate the biggest music night of honors for the 42nd Annual Chicago Music Awards featuring artists in reggae, rap, Latin, blues, and more.
Combined with the 31st African Caribbean International Festival of Life with food, art, and the best of the world's music and entertainers. Thursday, July 4th through the 7th in Washington Park, DuSable Museum.
And if you would like to become a sponsor, donor, or even a vendor, or if you would like the 50% promo tickets, visit the website below.
What about you? Know what about me? Been doing this since the age of 15. I've been on my own. Tell me what do I need? She make me cry. I'ma make you bleed. Got killers on the lurk and they on their way back. Feel like I'm uncomfortable without my strap. Should've told me you run it behind my back. Should've told me you run the game, but now it's a rap. Let's get it. Hit from the back, so I know that she with it. I got a ball, can't get knocked off my pivot. Pushing these drugs, so you know I be dealing. She like when I touch it, she know I'ma kill it. Took out my enemies, know I'ma drill them. All in the mouth, she be sharing a dinner. All on the couch, switch the TV like Kindle. Fire out the block, spit the pole when I bend them. Block with the switch, see the light in my denim. If I gotta get them, then I gotta get them. Ain't missing no shots, so we watch what we send them. I'm popping a pill, now I feel like a million. Got it in my bag, so I might pop a Perkin if I...
Thanks for clicking on the link. My name is Wally Locker III. I'm the executive producer of Urban Grind Television and author of Music is My Business, a startup strategy guide to the music business. I've been in the industry for over 18 years, working with artists, entertainers, producers, record executives, and more. I put together a brand new strategy guide just for you on how to navigate the music business. I'm going to talk about your vision, about your commitments, about your dreams, building the supreme team, and more. Also, how to fund your business. So all you need to do is hit the link below, put in your email address. We're going to send you the newsletter. We're going to give you some free bonus content, and you also got an exclusive offer. It's all free. Just click on the link below, put in your email address, and get in tune. It's Urban Grind TV. Music is my business. Let's go.
Yo, what up? This is DZ. You're watching Urban Grind TV, and you better check out my new video with Corrupt and Planet Asia called What the Fuck You Mean? Get it.
This DPG, Corrupt DZ, what the fuck?
Look, what the fuck you mean? When you're talking all that shit, I can't hear what you're saying, I can't understand a bit. So we'll pour another drink and I'll take another sip till you fucking shut your lips, close them up like a zip. Homie, don't trip, get a grip. Skirt, skirt off in the whip. I ain't talking that cream with the chocolate chips. I'm talking that green and Colombian. Yeah, we got it. Packed up in the trunk, got it smelling like a skunk. Do a few bumps, then you won't give a fuck. This that G-Funk, so come try your luck. When you come round here, better have your pistol tucked, or you fuck straight up. Shit quick without a paddle. I'm horseback, riding no saddle, wearing camo and a backpack, strapped with max ammo. About to go kablamo, killing shit like Rambo.
What the fuck you mean? Where the fuck you wanna get? Hit the liver or the kidney or the spleen, nigga, what the fuck you mean?
Where the fuck you wanna get? Hit the liver or the kidney or the spleen, nigga, what the fuck you mean?
Born to kill, born to slide, born to hustle, born to ride, born to grind. My shooters in the jacks, they ain't going for it. Got them shooters on deck with them Rugers and them techs. Automatic when it's static, I'm tripping. We be riding, sliding, whipping and dipping. I be state to state. What the fuck you mean? Still pushing to the fiend, smoking kush, fuck sipping lean. I ain't a weirdo. I'm a gangster Mac, West Side, giving thanks to that. It ain't a motherfucking thing to me to bang my street and bring my heat to them busters trying to aim at me. Fuck around and find out. You don't need a rolling on your wrist. I show you what that time out and put you on a timeout. You don't dug your ass a dangerous hole that's hard to climb out.
Look, what the fuck you mean? Where the fuck you wanna get? Hit the liver or the kidney or the spleen, nigga, what the fuck you mean? Where the fuck you wanna get? Hit the liver or the kidney or the spleen, nigga, what the fuck you mean?
What you mean? Yeah, it's fucking brutal out there, but I don't care if you heed my warning. So I'll just keep on scoring, while you just keep on snoring, cause you're boring. That part's not important. The part that really matters is climbing up the ladder. Your girl's with me now cause you're fatter. You ain't climbing up no ladder. The last thing you climbed was the scale, what a whale. Just call me Ishmael, on a mission I can fail to impale a whale, but the tail pales in comparison to the embarrassment I'm gonna inflict on ya. EDS Mafia, bitch, and I'm the motherfucking Don, yeah.
Look, what the fuck you mean? Where the fuck you wanna get? Hit the liver or the kidney or the spleen, nigga, what the fuck you mean? Where the fuck you wanna get? Hit the liver or the kidney or the spleen, nigga, what the fuck you mean?
Do I have to spell it out? Get real mad, scream and shout, you know exactly what I mean. What I'm really about, punch you in the mouth if you bad mouth me. I get as rowdy as Ronda Rousey in round 3. It's so astounding to me that I see so many people talking shit, not directly to me, cause that would be a recipe for murder in the 3rd degree or possibly a serial killing. Bitch, I'm a motherfucking villain, so call me Mr. Freeze, baby, I'm ice cold. My dick is warm to the touch if you wanna hold. Yup, Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You wanna fuck with these? I'll fucking wreck ya.
Yo, what's the word? It's SMG Zello, aka Thought Boy Zello, the Talk A Lot artist, man. In the beginning, it was hard for me to get exclusives and to get promo for my music. But guess what? UGTV has that, man. Call the number below and they will help you out, man. It was the best thing I did for myself.
Are you an artist, model, or entertainer? Do you need help with bookings, castings, or even engagement on your platforms? Hit up UrbanGrindTV today and let them get you right.
So if you're organized and you got a checklist, then when you book that time, you can maximize the snippets. You go in there and you might make snippets for 3 or 4 tracks. And that's why like a checklist and organization helps. And you might not be an organized kind of person. Most artists I've met are not. That's why they work with a management or a label or something like that, because they don't think like that. You know, I can't sing, I'm not a dancer. Like I'm good at paperwork. I like the business side of it. I love it. So that's why you gotta have the balance, right?
I know you taught balance of it. And then you taught me like another thing I learned. This is why I love UGTV so much too. Is I learned like you can be marketable and don't seem childish. It's possible to be marketable and still do the things that you want to do and be able to express yourself the way you want to express yourself. Mm-hmm. Just keep it at a level where it's able to make you some revenue and
keep it PG.
And just make it so that it's able to be put across all boards.
Most definitely. Like you could do what you want to do on your own time, on all that, but most of the time, if you want to be able to, get funding, get sponsors, get stuff like that, things that's behind you that's gonna help you, with your business plan, then that's gonna be able to keep it marketable. You gotta keep it PG, like you said.
Yeah, a reputable company. What if somebody has a brand or a real good company and they may feel like they don't want to tarnish it because you said something, done one time. People love receipts. They love to pull old stuff and use it against you, right?
The feds do it.
Right. Well, everybody does, and women,
It ain't
right?
just hey.
And women, right? They'll pull receipts.
This is a different conversation.
That is a whole other.
We've
That's another
already
show.
discussed this is a whole different conversation. Let's stay on topic.
But that's what I'm saying. They're gonna pull receipts, and and that's what I see. I think we've all said
you are
something
correct.
dumb.
Everything to have his receipts.
Right. We've all said. I'm a Scorpio, so I live off receipts. They ain't nothing. Yes. So, but what it does is it gives you. How can I say it? It just gives you an opportunity to grow. And we've all said something that we regret, something that if other people heard it, that they would be embarrassed or ashamed, or just not proud of what we say. So I think people do say that, and I think we got to give people a little bit more leeway because we're only human. We're gonna say stuff, and I think beyond an apology or whatever, if you say something, I think people grow, and that shows growth. If I had the same opinion or what that was, if I say, what I believe and I still agree with what I said, then that's different. And you know what? I really don't care if people won't agree with it. But I understand that this is a business opportunity. It's an opportunity for our brands to partner with other brands and do things on a bigger level. So why not? Why not keep it clean? Why not keep it PG? And I think I see amazing artists and entertainers and creators all the time. And they may do something that's gonna cut a whole bunch of people out that could be potential sponsors, event shows, anything with violence or negativity, hate speech. Just keep it out because it's not that important. You're not gonna shock and awe. You're gonna offend people, and you're gonna get kind of the wrong attention. Whereas opposed to just being creative, having fun. You can do your stuff, but just do things, I guess, with finesse, with class, and tell your story because everybody's really easily upset nowadays.
But I feel like for you to be a creative in this industry, for you to actually be truly creative and be able to be yourself and bring yourself into the entertainment, you have to be able to be you. You have to be able to have your opinions and be able to say them. I feel like for a country that literally has it in its amendments that we have the right of speech, we sure do get offended by a lot of people's choice of words.
That's facts.
I think we all need to just humble ourselves. I think we just all need to humble ourselves and be like, you know what? They have a difference in opinion, and you can stay over there, and I will stay on this side.
People will get you fired.
So offended.
They will find you, and they'll find out where you work. They'll hit your
the
job, and they'll get you fired over something you said. Got nothing to do with work, so you might actually lose your way to make money, your ability to support your family because of your opinion. Well, it's the same thing in the music and entertainment industry. You could say something. You could be an Uber driver, tell a customer to F off or something. You might lose your job. What if you're a bus driver? You're like, I drive a bus. Well, what if you're a kid's school bus driver and you cuss one of them little kids out, right? Well, you just cuss somebody having a bad day. And you didn't sign up to babysit. I signed up to be a bus driver, but because of your opinion and because you didn't
take it there.
Because you didn't keep it PG, right?
Teach your children better, bro.
Right? And they got cameras on these buses now.
These kids nowadays are so wild.
Yeah, but they got cameras, so they watching you.
They're so wild.
So let's say Zello. Let's say
no, control your.
Athena trips one of the kids walking out. You know what I mean? Like pushes them down the stairs. Like it's bad. So you can't.
I will not. I do not.
No, she does.
We don't disrespect children.
No,
however,
she's not endorsing violence, but there is a however.
Yes, there is a however. If you do not teach your child respect,
you gonna teach him?
And no, absolutely not. Look, it is your job to spank your children. It is your job to go ahead and parent your child. But if your child comes to another adult and decides to speak to them in an adultly manner, I feel like that child deserves to then be talked to as an adult to teach them. That they, if you're gonna act like an adult, that is how you will be treated.
You're right. Listen, when my dad grew up and my grandpa, if you said something like that to an adult stranger, they would bust you in the head. And children were scared.
It's not happening
they were scared to offend adults, and they were scared to offend people. We going off, but you know what? This makes sense because it's about you're an entertainer, and you may blow it because you're not protecting your brand quality, right?
Yeah.
You're not protecting, the bag, right? Secure the bag. So branding and identity was what we were talking about now. Our brand guidelines Make sure things are consistent with your style, with your brand, things that you agree with. Stories. You guys like the stories, right? You guys put stories up with music.
Mm-hmm.
So another department that people I think are really underlooked, if you're gonna run a record label, independent label, is talent scouting and A&R.
Oh yeah.
Why is that important?
Well, most of the time, you're gonna be watched by everybody. So you need to keep up. You know, most of the time, I'm not saying that you gotta wear, extravagant things, but most of the time, you gotta, wherever you're going, you need to look presentable and you need to perform at your best, especially if you're an artist, because you never know who watching, you never know who's sitting there, you don't know who. Like, I walked in a room full of legends one time and didn't even know it, and I was like, and then when they introduced themselves, it was like, oh, I ain't even get to speak to them. I ain't get to say nothing to nobody. I ain't get to. Now I'm finna go perform in front of a bunch of legends who I didn't even introduce myself to.
Pressure.
Nah, you see what I'm saying? So
You ain't get no, like,
you gotta make sure
pre-qualifying,
you
like,
pay
discussions
attention
or nothing.
and you get out there and you do a lot of networking, because you need to. You need that involving feeling. You need to get the people to know who you are. Leave a good impression with people. Leave them with a smile.
Conduct yourself professionally. And like even these booking agreements, I do quite a few of them. There's stuff like that about what time you get in, right? How long you got to be there, how your professional conduct, a lot of different things, or they won't pay you, right? You leave early, they won't pay you. So there's a lot of different things that is important. You might be an A&R scouting you, might be a person that books models and makeup. You don't know, and you don't want to be having a bad day and let something go. So that's why, art discovery, independent labels gotta have somebody scouting the talent. They'll never find another Dot Boy Zello when they, let's say, had somebody looking for him, right? So a lot of, like, I played A&R, and then of course friends and family will tell you, but you can't rely on them and their network to get you successful. You need to go out to shows. You got to go on music platforms. MySpace was big when we started. So, like, we were on MySpace, like, finding people and looking. And on Monday, on WGCI, you could still go Music Mondays. You used to be able to go there, stand in line, and if you got up there, and you could play your song for them. And if they liked it, they would put it on the radio. So like nice. Now that's all done digital and everything, but you would meet people in line. You'd be standing there for 2 hours. So I would go talk to everybody naturally while I'm out there and do networking. So that's why it's important. Taking submissions, having demos. When you say you have a record label, it doesn't matter. People think of all kind of things. You might have like a small label, you might have a mid-size. They might want to have you sign a whole dozen artists. So they want to send you music. So you got to have an outlet where you can accept music and submissions and demos, and the first red flag is they don't have a demo.
And I
That's
feel
like
with
a model,
scouting,
and they don't have pictures, right?
I feel like with scouting artists, doesn't it like also depend on the type of style you are as a label too?
Absolutely.
Like if you're
rock.
random, if you're rock, you're not gonna go ahead and book a country singer underneath your label, like unless you're trying to expand out into different areas.
Right.
I guess that's your thing. All power to you. But like I feel like to have somebody on your team that understands what you're looking for as a label to be able to scout those people, that's what's important as well.
Yes. So after artist discovery, once you sign an artist, next thing I do is artist development. Just because you can rap doesn't mean you understand how to put on a performance, how to write music.
Yeah, that take a lot. It definitely take a lot. And just looking back on the 5 years that I took to just develop myself and my craft and stuff like that, it definitely takes you to want it for yourself, to be able to push yourself, to grind, to hit them new levels, to keep on working on the little things that you need to work on, because the development of yourself is the outcome. It's gonna be like, that's your ticket to you succeeding. The more you develop yourself, the better you're gonna be at your craft. And it took me a minute to learn. Like, just because I was good at rapping don't mean I had a nice performance. That don't mean I had, you see what I'm saying, like the smartness that came with it, the business side that came with it. I ain't had none of that yet. At that point, I was just a person that knew how to write some lyrics on a song. You see what I'm saying? But the development that Sinister, shout out Sinister, man, put into me and taught me, like, man, it's a business side to this too, and that's what helps me grow on the other side, on the other end.
How about this part? What if, say, if you're an artist, what if you're a model? You just showed up 10 minutes before you were supposed to go on. You get on stage.
On the runway?
On the runway, on the stage, wherever. You perform, you do your thing, and then you walk the hell out as soon as it's done. I see a lot of guys. Am I lying? No. A lot of people that do that. They'll come with their people. They won't network with anyone outside of the people that came with them. They'll perform and they'll just leave.
I will say, like, as a model who started off as like very reserved and shy, I had to learn how to break out of my shell and actually talk to people, because networking is everything. And for you to be just the model that comes in, does your job, and then you just walk out, not say a word to nobody, not even say a proper goodbye, not even say thank you for this opportunity, or try to meet other designers, talk with your designers if you have the chance, or even like the production managers so that they can know your face, possibly book you again without having to go through the whole process. You know, you're just like kind of like making yourself miss out on easier opportunities or more opportunities that could be presented when you know certain people.
So that's artist development. What if you have anxiety? What if you're shy? And that's hard for
I
people
have
to do.
anxiety.
Well, so that's what I mean. Like I'm introverted, right? So I didn't mind working one-on-one with artists and recording music, shooting a video and doing things like that. But then it was like, all right, I gotta walk in a room with like 200 strangers. I gotta find the people that are important in this room, and I gotta at least meet them, shake their hand, give them my card, right? You feel me, right?
Make sure your hands are not clammy.
Yes.
Make sure you're not like breathing weird.
And I got it, right?
Or your eyes not twitching. You know. Did I not tell you?
The best thing to do is be yourself, though, because what I've learned from.
But what if yourself's in a bad mood? What if yourself is not
when
a
I
nice
mean when I mean be yourself, I mean put yourself in a position to understand that everybody probably not having a good day. So if you in a position to where you need to network, everything else needs to be out.
But that's your job. That's what
everything.
You're there for.
That's what I'm saying. So everything else needs to be out the window. If you're having a bad day, then everything else that don't got nothing to do with what you came here for. That's what I learned. Because as an artist that didn't do no big shows and then went straight to South by Southwest, I was nervous. I was scared, but I knew what I came there for, and I knew. You see what I'm saying? I know what I came there for, and I couldn't just opt out at last minute. What I'm supposed to do? Oh man, I can't do this. No, you have to throw everything else out the window, and it's what you working on. Focus on the goal. Focus on the end goal.
You know what? And Eminem taught us, even if you choke, you can still be great. You still end up with a whole label and everything else to yourself. Okay.
Mom spaghetti.
8 miles.
Okay.
Yes.
8 miles.
Okay.
Thanks for watching Behind the Grind on Urban Grind TV. Join us next week for part 2 for the record label checklist.